Okay, good morning. This week we are on Fowler and Gilbert Business and we are going to give you a catch up on the Bowland tractors job just before we break up. Now, in fact, officially we have broke up. So if you are feeling festive, please give Clayton a festive finger in and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. So, little job that we got here. Last time we were here, we had the foundations going in. So all that was in with a strip footing, if you remember, and we had to put that boarding, the hoarding, effectively around the outside of the footings. We've come back now. Granted, we could have done with a bit more stone about the job, but we've took a view to try and make the most of the best of the weather in the last few days on the run into Christmas of getting this building put up, or the majority of the steelwork put up. So the idea is for us, we've got this L-shaped building as you've seen before. We've got the first section and where we're going to connect into the existing. We're trying to get that bit up and railed out and finished, ready for cladding effectively, or netting and handrailing in the new year. And then this section here, we've decided to put the steelwork up, but we're going to leave the rafters out there for the time being, or certainly for a section of it, because we've got a ginormous poo tank to go in the far end. So this is the poo tank. Okay, so this is the poo tank. This has got to go in at the far end. We'll do a separate video actually when we come to fit that, and we'll explain more about it. It's a klargester biodisc poo tank, and when that goes in, we'll show you how we fit that. We have to fill that with water at the same time as we put the concrete around the outside to stop it floating out, and we'll explain a little bit more about what that is and how it does what it does. But you can see by the size of it, we've got to be able to pick that up effectively. It's quite fragile. We've got to be able to pick that up, take that through the building, which is why we don't want the rafters in at this stage to get to the far end. Because the other part of it is not just the rafters, but we've got some floor beams and we've got a mezzanine floor in this end of the building for the first two bays. So that's one of the reasons we don't want to put any of that steel work in, because we need that clear route through. I think concrete wise we're probably going to have to get the pump out again to reach that far corner, because it's going to be a nuisance without. So that's why we're going to leave this open at the minute. And then if we get chance, what we'll do is we'll start putting the eaves beams and the rails and everything in on the side. So when it comes to it, all we've got left then is the rafters and the floor beams to put in. Because the concrete sectional floor, we can reach pretty much from this end to set that in when we come to do the mezzanine. And that's what these little tabs are on the side there. They're to take so the floor beams will go across, and that tab on the outside is to take just the outside of that concrete sectional hollow beam panel that we're going to install for the floor. Building wise, you can start to see now, obviously we've got the boundary conditions on the two elevations there. You can see now the fence line is the boundary. Obviously we've got the trees over at the back. So you can start to see now that takes shape, and why we've got to put them boundary conditions on not just the foundations, but also we've got the cladding and the fire rating element of the foundations as well to consider on them two elevations. So all of that is in and done. Obviously we're not going to roof it or clad it now until the new year. But before we can clad it, we've got the same as what you've seen on the jobs that we've done on the big site. We've got that element of, we need Neil and the guys from Elevation to come back, put us that dwarf wall in with the cavity, and then that's what we're going to clad our composite panel down onto. So then the last bit that we're trying to get done and finished, ready for netting and railing, will be that bit over there near the existing building. So let's go and have a look at that. So on this end of the building where we're attaching to the existing building, it's far easier for us, rather than trying to break through at every point where we need a rail and obviously expose brickwork, expose the existing building. What we wanted to do is make sure that this building was constantly watertight and closed off and locked whilst we were doing our works, and we only break through at the point in which our building is then secure and watertight. So for us, it was far easier to put an additional stanchion here right against the existing building where I'm standing. We can run our rails through, run them slightly past and butt up to the existing. We can run our cladding then through and flash onto the existing, and that's probably the simplest way for us to do it. So then here against the existing building, we've got that full portal frame going in, nice and tight. We can get that all railed through, and then that's ready for cladding. By that point, the first few days back in the new year, we'll be looking at doing the poo tank, and if we can get the poo tank in and the area out the back there finished, we can then sail the rest of the rafters in, get all of that purlined out, get it netted and railed, and then we're ready to put the roof on. And we'll probably put the roof on whilst Neil and the guys are doing that Simon Turner wall round the building. So then floor wise, all of that will be stoned up. We've got the insulation to go in, and we've also got then the concrete to go in, so the floor will pan through and be at the same level. Then on the outside, we've got some concreting works to do there, so we've got to rip all that yard up, but at the moment that is their main route in and out of their building for work. So we're going to leave that till sort of last minute, get that ripped out when we're a little bit closer over this side. We've got the attenuation tank, which is a crated system. Again, we'll do a separate video on that, of the install and how that works and what it's doing. But ultimately that is a created attenuation tank, so the water goes into it and disperses, but it holds a volume of water before gushing everything down the watercourse. So that is it for our catch up on Bowland tractors. We are on the run into Christmas. We're not going to see you guys until after Christmas now, which after Christmas, in between Christmas and New Year, our next video is going to be the best and the worst bits of this year and a look back at what we've done. So if you are feeling festive, which you should be because we are on the last few days before Christmas, give Clayton that festive finger and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and you will see our best and worst bits next week. We're going to leave you now with a Bowland Tractors montage, followed by the tranquil music, the next room of the house reveal, and Merry Christmas.